I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody...
Public outrage was no longer just a whisper. Disappointment with HYBE exploded into a massive wave when fans realized one thing they could no longer ignore: Taehyung seemed to be left to fend for himself. The figure, once known for his gentleness, professionalism, and maturity, was now the center of attention. Not because of the scandal, but because of the agency's silence, which was perceived as neglectful when his name was hit with a barrage of issues. Taehyung was a global face. He wasn't just a member of a boy group, but a symbol of dedication, hard work, and sincerity rarely seen in such a tough industry. But all of that felt meaningless when the system he was part of chose to remain silent. ARMY, fans known for their loyalty and dedication, didn't remain silent. They felt HYBE's behavior had crossed the line. They weren't just disappointed, they were angry, because the love they had given wasn't being protected by those who should have been responsible. In various posts, fans voiced their protest openly. They demanded that HYBE take action, not just manage schedules and promotions. They wanted real protection, not just a communication strategy. Taehyung isn't a puppet. He's human. He feels. He has limits to his patience. But all this time, he's chosen to remain silent, smile, and continue his duties gracefully. But that's precisely where the deepest wounds lie. Fans feel the injustice. They clearly see who is being highlighted and who is being sidelined. To them, Taehyung isn't being treated equally, even though his contributions to the company's success are significant. This anger isn't without reason. Every time Taehyung is attacked in the media, every time his name is used for slander, fans wait for at least one word from the agency. But all they get is silence. They're tired of seeing Taehyung's smile used as a promotional tool, while their sense of security and protection is ignored. HYBE seems to have forgotten that behind an artist's popularity, there's a soul that needs to be protected and respected. Now, fan protests aren't just on social media. Trucks with open messages have begun arriving at HYBE's offices. They carry one message: protect Taehyung, or lose our trust. Several major international fan bases have issued official statements. They stated that loyalty cannot be bought, and if silence continues, they will not hesitate to take decisive action. Taehyung himself has not commented. He remains as usual, warm, calm, and polite. But to fans, his silence is a symbol of strength. He doesn't need to speak to show that he's worthy of defense. This unfair treatment has opened a broader discussion. Is the Korean entertainment industry protecting its artists enough? Is the management system too focused on profit and forgetting that they are managing humans, not machines? HYBE, as a large company, is now under scrutiny from all sides. Their success in building BTS to global fame is no small feat, but how they care for the people within it is far more important than anything else. Fans remember the times when Taehyung defended his fellow members, when he took to social media to calm the situation, when he stood at the forefront to show solidarity. Now, he is alone, and no one stands with him from within. That's what hurts. Not that he was attacked, but that he wasn't defended. Because he gave his all, but was met with deafening silence. Several journalists and pop culture observers have begun to raise this issue. They highlight the unequal treatment among artists and the weak crisis communication systems of major entertainment companies. Many are saying this could be a turning point. If the public continues to pressure, it's possible there will be changes in how companies protect their artists, not just Taehyung, but all of them. Taehyung is a living example of how sincerity can be powerful. But even someone as strong as him still needs protection. And when he doesn't get it, fans feel like they have to be the ones to shield him. There's a deep sense of frustration that the love they've given isn't being reciprocated with equal protection. ARMY feels their love is being tested, and they're choosing not to remain silent. In various discussion forums, fans are formulating long-term strategies. They don't want to just be angry, they want systemic change. They want agencies to know that every artist has a right to be safe. Some influencers and independent musicians are starting to speak out. They're calling Taehyung a symbol of silent courage, someone who can stand with dignity without retaliating. HYBE has a chance to make things right. But time is running out. And every day without a response only widens the gap between them and the loyal supporters who have made the company a name for itself. The public is no longer blind. They can see who is being protected and who is being neglected. And when the unfair treatment becomes too obvious, respect slowly turns to deep disappointment. Taehyung never asked to be defended. But the love of his fans is too great to watch him continue to be hurt. So they unite, not to create conflict, but to demand justice that should come from within. Every small action of Taehyung's is now watched with emotion. Even a simple smile seems to carry a heavy burden. The public no longer wants to see him carry it all alone. The entertainment industry will never be truly fair. But when love has been repaid with hard work, the least it can provide is a sense of security. That alone is meaningful enough. Now, it's HYBE's turn to be tested. Will they remain silent and let this wave continue to grow, or will they finally open their eyes and listen to the voices that have been ignored for too long? Because one thing is certain, Taehyung is not a puppet. He is not a product. He is a human being who has given the world his love. And the world, in the form of millions of fans, is now demanding that their love no longer be met with silence. The stage may have showcased Taehyung's brilliance in the public eye. But behind the scenes, the most dazzling spotlight comes from the agency's own silence. Fans feel as if Taehyung only matters when it's beneficial. What does loyalty mean if, when someone is attacked, they are abandoned? This isn't about a single moment, but rather the accumulation of countless instances where Taehyung continues to demonstrate dedication without receiving adequate protection. HYBE's continued inaction complicates the situation. More and more outsiders are speaking out. Some are claiming that the agency is neglecting its most basic responsibility, protecting the mental health and reputation of its artists. Some ARMY are beginning to declare that they will stop purchasing products or supporting the company's activities, as a form of real protest. This isn't bluff, it's a reflection of genuine hurt. Meanwhile, Taehyung continues his schedule. He still greets fans with a sincere smile. But ARMY knows that someone as kind as him doesn't deserve to be treated as if they have no voice. Because truly, Taehyung's voice now lives on through them, and they won't stop speaking until he's truly taken care of. When love is repaid with silence, resistance is born from hurt. And that hurt is now etched in the hearts of millions of fans who watch as Taehyung continues to walk without a shield, in a world that isn't always kind to the gentle. In various major cities, fans have begun printing messages of solidarity and displaying them on public screens and strategic roads. They aren't demanding more, just that companies see Taehyung as a human being worthy of care, not as a passive asset. Many are asking, why is an artist as popular and important as Taehyung treated as if his existence isn't worth defending? Is popularity only important when it brings profit, then forgotten when the storms come? ARMY turned their frustration into strength. They made their voices impossible to ignore. They want the world to know that true love doesn't remain silent when someone they respect continues to be hurt by indifference. Taehyung isn't just an idol. He's a symbol of sincerity that shines through even under pressure. And while many choose silence, millions of voices now stand around him, not to retaliate, but to protect what should never be left alone to suffer. Over time, the pressure on HYBE has not abated. Criticism has come from all directions, not only from fans, but also from industry observers, journalists, and even public figures who have worked with Taehyung. Everyone agrees on one thing: silence is not the answer. When an artist faces accusations, slander, or personal attacks, the company must act as a protector, not just a scheduler or profiteer. Taehyung may not have asked for help directly, but that doesn't mean he doesn't need it. In fact, his silence has made many feel compelled to step in, filling the void that his agency should have filled. Now, HYBE faces a difficult choice: continue to maintain a strategy of silence that is starting to undermine its own image, or admit that it has neglected to protect one of its greatest assets, not in terms of business, but in terms of hearts. Because in the end, the public may forgive mistakes, but they won't forget who they saw standing in the storm, and who they saw turn away when the first rain fell. Taehyung stood up, and the world saw it. The pain fans feel doesn't come from a scandal or a major issue. It comes from seeing injustice allowed to grow. When someone they respect and love isn't given the space to feel safe, let alone heard. Taehyung is a figure who embodies calm and emotional depth. He's not sensational, not easily provoked. But precisely because of this, the public feels the need to speak out even more. Because silence isn't weakness, but a form of sacrifice.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.